Hey, everybody. Welcome back
Hey,
to the Wrestle Twins podcast. It's been a while. We've
wrestle.
missed you. We
I
love
miss
you.
y'all so much.
And
hey,
got Nate here, the most handsome man on the internet, Big Daddy Joe over here.
hey, hey.
And we are here to talk some wrestling. And it's going to be a little bit different format. We don't have anything specific like pay-per-views or anything in mind. We're just free. We're free falling, free balling today. And
free balling.
all day, every day, like Drew McIntyre in his kilt. Amen.
Amen.
Joe, before we
Yeah.
get it kicked off, we always have to start with a question. I have a very, very significant question, good sir. Who do you
Okay.
think?
Surprise me.
Who do you think is a pro wrestler that was severely underrated in his time with a major company? WWE, AEW, any company.
Well, I can say right now that person is Finn Balor.
Okay, respect.
Yeah, right now that person is Finn Balor. I believe that he should and could be main event Finn Balor, but he's a worker, man. He's been killing the game, and he doesn't get the justice that is due him. I don't think. I think
No,
he they stripped away the demon from him. They changed up his music recently, which isn't really sticking for me. Go back to the old, you know what I'm saying? Go back to the old.
Def Rebel
But
ruins everything.
yeah. But if we're speaking like right now in today's time, I would have to say Finn Balor. And I'll think a little bit more. I'm gonna let you talk next. I got to think about, I guess, in the past, who's kind of been thrown to the wayside and shouldn't have. But for right now, it will be Finn Balor.
I think the Finn Balor situation is more like he suffers from Dolph Ziggler syndrome. Like
Mm,
he's too good. Like companies know that no matter what happens, he's still going to look good, and the fans are
yeah.
still going to love him because he's that good.
Hmm.
Um, for me, I want to go back to the Attitude Era, and I want to kind of Attitude, Ruthless Aggression era, and throw my boy Rhino in the mix.
Mm,
I think Rhino is severely underrated. Like, I think a lot of it may have had to do with promos,
yeah.
but Rhino didn't have to talk. How much did Goldberg talk in 98 and 99, Joe?
Not much at all.
Rhino
He
didn't
just
have to
won.
talk. Rhino
Hmm.
was a beast. Like he was big. He wasn't the tallest guy in the room, but like I stood next to Rhino at WrestleCade and was
Hmm.
just like, this is a big dude, and he's in his 50s and he's smaller now than he was then. And I'm just like, I don't think I'd want to take that gore.
Yeah.
So I think Rhino is one of those guys, kind of like a Dolph Ziggler or somebody that's like a really good wrestler, really good with his
Mhm.
character, but for some
Oh
reason just
man,
couldn't get
Dolph,
over.
man, he was, yeah, yeah, man. You're
Dolph
right. He
was
was like a
it.
Dolph.
Dolph
Yeah.
was great.
Hmm.
And you see it in TNA now. It's the fact that he's so good he can get anything over. And like the company's like, all right, cool. Like we know you're going to be popular. We know you're going to sell stuff. I
Hmm.
need you to make this guy look good or that guy look good. Goldberg comes back. What do? Feed him Ziggler. Because
Yep.
Ziggler's going to take that spear and make it look like he's been ripped in half. I mean, any position you put
Great
Ziggler
worker.
in, yeah,
Hmm.
all these great workers. Like I know Eddie Guerrero gets the appreciation he does now, rightfully so, and
Rightfully so. Yeah.
I feel like he wouldn't get that appreciation had he not left us so soon
Yeah,
because
I
he's one of
agree.
those guys who's a great worker who can
Hmm.
make anything work. And I hate that he's passed, but I think the fact that he passed has allowed us to remember his greatness.
Yeah, he's like the Tupac of wrestling.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Shed so many tears.
Man.
You
Dear
didn't think I knew
mama.
that one, did you?
No.
I'm full of surprises, man. I got the Tupac anthology. Okay, don't let the
Okay.
accent fool you.
Oh man. Well, you know what, pretty guy? I got another one for you. This big man that we talked about before that you actually put on one of your Mount Rushmores, and I don't think that he gets the credit he deserves. Even for me, I wasn't even thinking about him like this until you said something, and then I went back and started watching some of his matches on YouTube and things like that. Bam Bam Bigelow. I was like, I cannot believe I forgot that dude. Like I
Yeah.
he dropped directly out of my memory. But that worker, that big man doing man meat, but also doing flips off the top rope type work.
He
We
was a
don't see
400
that.
pound cruiserweight.
Yeah, moved like a jet engine.
Yeah.
Like that man had a Hemi in his heart.
I think, I honestly think that Bam Bam Bigelow should have been a world champion somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
he got some flowers in ECW and stuff, but I mean, in one of the major, not crapping on ECW. I appreciate ECW, but like Bam Bam is underappreciated in today's business because all these big men you see, like a Bronson Reed and stuff, that can do all these crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
Bam Bam was the guy. And as
Yep.
much as I love Vader, I love Andre the Giant, I love the Big Show, all these big men, I think Bam Bam could have easily been in that conversation to be right there with those guys. But for whatever reason, he just kind of, who else was going to carry Lawrence Taylor and make him look good in WrestleMania 11?
Right.
And like Lawrence Taylor was probably hopped up on that white girl and everything and still had a blast. Okay.
I would probably say definitely, but allegedly.
Allegedly, allegedly. Make sure I get that straight. But like Bam Bam's one of those guys that's, he was once in a generation kind of talent that
Hmm.
it's once again like once you get to, it's kind of like these got the drafts this week. Like every once you get to that level, everybody's great. Even the practice
Yeah.
squad, these are some of the greatest athletes in the world. Once you get to that WWE, AEW level, unless you're Tongaloa, everybody's great.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
We not Tama's amazing.
Tama
Tonga,
is amazing. Tonga is, yeah, yeah.
uh, I should Loa. If you ever watch this, I doubt you ever will. I'm sorry, I threw you under the bus, bro. I'm
Uh,
sorry. I'm sorry.
but
Don't
I
kill me
think,
because you got too many connections to Haku, and I just don't. I ain't ready for that life.
but I think most people agree with you. So there's that.
Um, I want to go back to the old school again, and talk about Stan Hansen too.
Mm,
Stan Hansen was one of those tough guys that he did great things in NWA. Vince McMahon never wanted him, but he was like a legit tough guy. He did a lot of great work in New Japan and everything.
yeah,
You and I talked about this match one time. I've seen it and it was brutal. It was Stan Hansen and Big Van Vader.
yeah,
Stan Hansen knocked Vader's eyeball out of its socket because he was hitting him so stiff, but it looked so good.
yeah.
Like, just those, I like those believable bad guys, those believable tough guys, but those are never the guys you want to, for some reason, you build a company around. But Stan Hansen was also kind of one of those guys where if you gave him a piece of paper, say, I want you to say this, he would have crumbled it up and said, bleep you. I'll bleep myself on that one. Bleep you.
You don't need Travis to bleep you. You bleep
No, I
yourself.
got it. Jesus is
the
watching me, man.
He's watching all of us. He's omnipresent. Uh, but the lariat was crazy, man. He was crazy. Definitely, definitely underrated. But you know me and my heel worship. I love heels. I love them. Like John Cena made my heart flutter a little bit when he went heel. I love
Did it make
all
it hurt on
heels.
Sunday?
A little, yeah. A little heartburn. I'm not
He said
sure
he
if
was
it
going to
was the
ruin wrestling.
wings. Yeah. I'm not sure if it was the wings or whatever, but he definitely had a crowd of people apologizing to him.
Like, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I sent this in the group text because you guys aren't in my group text. So I sent this in the group text. Like John Cena said, "You hear that? They're saying we aren't sorry." I'm like, I'm pretty sure I hear them saying we are
We
sorry.
are sorry.
We're
Right.
apologizing to you, John. We just want to love you now. Let us love you.
Let us hug you, John.
This is what you get when you break up in the relationship, and then that you realize what you had, and they're gone. You're like, we want you back, and they're like, John's like, no, you had your chance for
Right.
20 years. I'm done, baby.
But just for John to know if he ever listens to this, I never said you couldn't wrestle. I never booed you.
I didn't
I
either.
never got tired
Okay,
of
I
you.
lied. I did boo you when I was te- teenage me. Booed John Cena because I was the metalhead kid that thought it was cool to go against anything that was popular. I regret
Mhm.
what I did, and I'm willing to I will go to fan counseling with you, John. I will do this for you. Like this is we can work it out.
I'll be your doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Joe.
Dr. Joe. Yep.
He's got all these titles, man. Joe's just this incredible human being. He can do everything. See, I got two WWJD bracelets here at the house. One says "What would Jesus do?" The other was "What would Joe do?" That's what we're doing.
What would Joe do? Probably forgive. That's what Joe would do.
And
But
see, John, you should forgive me for not
yeah.
appreciating you. And actually, while we bring it up, not necessarily WrestleMania related, we're still talking about underrated and heel stuff.
hmm
I know that people are trying to give him flowers now, but in his time, Ron Simmons
Oh man.
was not appreciated for how great he really was. Just a powerhouse that could
Yeah.
do like any power move you wanted, Ron would do.
hmm I loved Ron. So for me, I guess overall you're correct. He didn't get the flowers that he needed, but Ron, whether he was with JBL doing his thing, whether he was under the guise of Farouk with the Nation of Domination, I want him to come back. I talked to him about this at WrestleCade. I said, Ron, we need to bring back the Nation of Domination, and he agreed. He said it will be better than anything that's going on right now.
I would like to see a nation domination versus like the OG bloodline.
Yeah. And where
Like,
would The Rock go? Because he led the Nation of Domination, remember?
well, see, that's the thing. The Rock would be in that Paul Heyman situation where it's like, this is my
Yeah.
family, but
hmm
he would be split down the line. He loves both people, loves both sets
Yeah.
of people. But
Bring back Devon.
this is not a paid advertisement. But if you have not seen Devon Dudley's YouTube channel, please check it out.
Yep.
Please. That man has made me laugh so much the past few weeks watching his stuff. But
Yeah, he's definitely a you know, somebody that we really like would like to become friends with on
yeah,
YouTube, like professional friends, even friends in real life.
we'll
So
collab
Devon,
with
if you
you.
ever hear this, yeah, if you
We'll
ever
bring
hear this, we
you
want to talk.
hundreds of subscribers,
Yeah, hundreds. And I'll listen, I'll bring you some pop stars popcorn, like
and I'll give you a hug.
Yep. He gives good hugs.
I do.
He does.
I'm the biggest teddy bear you ever seen, and I'll bring you a Pokemon card.
Which one? You talking about Mewtwo?
Can't have my Mewtwo,
Oh
but
man.
or my Snorlax. But other than that, they're free game. I gotta have my Mewtwo and my Snorlax.
All right,
So
yeah.
those are some guys like I feel like it's wrestling just moves where part of the problem with wrestling is part of the reason why we love it, right? There's no off season,
hmm
but it never stops. So there's a lot of guys that just get lost in the shuffle where you got to stop, catch your breath. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of guys that don't remember like Lance Archer in AEW was in WWE like back in the mid 2000s and was
Yeah.
like they were pushing them pretty hard for like 3 months and then they just dropped the ball. And it's like a lot of guys like that are great wrestlers, great workers, but maybe they didn't get their footing until after they left one of the big companies and then they were just big in the indies and stuff. So I say all this to say, guys, tell your wrestlers you love them. Tell
Yeah,
them you
tell
love
them.
them.
Tell them, man, even if they don't believe you, like Sting didn't
Yeah,
believe me.
Sting didn't believe Joe. And I'm pretty sure, I think Mick Foley believed me, Joe, but just because I
Yeah.
was Don't laugh. Nobody's allowed to laugh. If you do, I'll tell your mom. And anybody that watches this at last, I'm going to tell your mom that you bullied me. Um, but the first time I met Mick Foley, I was in tears, Joe. I literally cried just because I was excited. Like, I told him, I was like, dude, I spent my whole life, like, just not necessarily idolizing you or anything, but
Hmm.
like just appreciating you because you were able to live your dream, still be a good husband, still be a good dad, still treat people with love and respect and everything like that. Like you see that, like it's a hard thing to balance, right? You're on the road 300 days out of the year. Uh,
Hmm.
what happens to most marriages in that circumstance? It crumbles. What happens to a lot of relationships with your kids? It crumbles. He's still got a good relationship with those people, and like still, if you go meet him, like he's just a super friendly guy. He's like everybody. He's like if you're a wrestling fan, Mick Foley's your dad. Just just that goofball kind of character. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And you know he mows the grass in white New Balances. And that's okay. We love you for that, Mick. We do.
Hmm.
I wanted to ask you about while we're on today. Um, I got maybe 20 minutes left. I can go. So
Okay.
uh, I want to get to my big question. Okay,
Hmm.
what is your favorite wrestling match of all time and why? And that's hard because obviously there's millions of matches, right?
Of all time?
All time, like from Frank Gotch versus George Hackenschmidt in the 1900s to Swerve Strickland versus John Moxley, or Cody Rhodes versus John Cena.
Oh, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena definitely was not my favorite match of all time. This is going to go way back in the past when I was 2 years old. Yeah, yeah. Of course, I didn't get to experience this one as a kid because I was two. It happened in 1988. Can you guess? I'm gonna give
Is
you
it
one, well, two chances to guess.
Sting and Ric Flair in 1988 in the Greensboro Coliseum?
That's it.
45
That's the
minute
one.
draw, sold out. They were hanging
Uh-huh.
from the rafters.
Yep. That's the one right there. Clash of Champions. One
It's
of the craziest matches that you can watch. If you can go back and watch that one, just in Greensboro Coliseum, 1988, where Sting retired, it
in
just brings
2024.
everything full circle because this is where Sting's career really took off.
This put him in the main event.
Yeah.
Uh, Ric Flair's the. I think a lot of people would agree with me. Ric Flair is one of the top three best to ever lace up a pair of boots.
Hmm.
And like objectively, I'm not talking about favorites. I'm talking about just in ring, pure everything, right?
Yep.
And he made Sting look like $1 million, and they went that 45-minute Broadway.
With no winner.
No, well,
Crazy.
you know who won?
Yeah.
The
But no,
fans.
the fans won.
You know, it's crazy because you don't. AEW does it every now and then. You don't see that finish often, the time limit draw. But
Hmm.
I think a lot of it is like wrestling fans, if they hear a time limit, they're just like going to roll their eyes or whatever. But if you set time limits and have an occasional time limit draw, you can have both guys essentially in some way win because neither one took the pin, neither one tapped out.
Hmm.
It's kind of a cheap thing, but if you don't do it all the time, like you do surprise roll up finishes, it would work.
All right, Carmelo.
But yeah, that's an excellent choice. I love going back to the 80s for that. Also on that
Yeah.
card was Don Carnodle was in a tag match, and I can't remember who his partner was or who he was going against, but he talked to me about that like when I met him in 2008. I can't even say I'm so old now. It's like
2008.
2008. It's not 2008 anymore.
Nope.
But he was talking about that card and just like watching it, and that's how he knew Sting was going to be one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
So,
And Sting, if you're watching this, you are my favorite wrestler of all time.
and
Believe it or not.
that's on Nitro. Like
Yep.
that's solid. solid choice.
Thank you.
For me,
Mm-hmm.
it's you've heard me talk about this match way too many times, and I'm sorry. Cactus Jack, Triple H, Royal Rumble 2000, and it starts with the build. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
got Mick Foley fired. The WWF wrestlers threaten to walk out. They bring Foley back, and he gets the snot beat out of him by Triple H and DX and everybody. And then it's just in Triple H's reaction. Anybody that thinks Triple H isn't like with it, I don't think has really appreciated his career, because when Mick Foley took his mask and ripped his shirt off to show the Cactus Jack shirt, he could have easily just took a mask off. He's still the same dude. But no, Triple H acted like he was legitimately scared for his life. Like Foley just pulled
Because you know who Cactus Jack is.
yes. So he gave it all the credence, right? And that match itself was like, I remember matches from when I was a kid, right? I was a WCW kid. I'm not ashamed to admit that. But
Mm-hmm.
that match was one of the first matches that really sucked me in. It's like a 30-minute match. And from bell to bell, I was just in it. Like I was just along for the ride. I bought and sold every single second of it. I think to me, it was just the perfect match. It showed Mick Foley's storytelling. He made
Mm-hmm.
Triple H look like the toughest man in the business, which is what his job was, to try and make him look tough in Austin's absence and everything. And it just showed like what Mick Foley was capable of doing. And he was only 34. Like they were talking about him being an old veteran and everything. Foley was only 34, but
Yeah.
his body was just so beat up from
Beat up. Yeah.
all these bumps and everything. And he did, because his whole logic was he wasn't great athletically, so he'd do the magical spots. And I'm just like, yeah, but with his psychology, he could have made a headlock look like the most threatening move in wrestling, I think.
Mm-hmm. He did everything.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the reason why Mick Foley is number 2 on my list.
He's I think it's cool that this year both of us, like, we got to meet each other's absolute all-time favorite and like
Together.
together, right?
Yeah.
And that was special, and it was special that my kid was there, so that made it even more special.
Yeah.
Uh, and those memories is what kind of sucks us in as wrestling fans, right? We
Mm-hmm.
don't remember everything, but we remember what captivated us the first time we remember something, if that makes sense. That was not the most philosophical way to say
The first time we remember something. Let's go.
that. So I do all this to say, like, on a video I made this week, a couple weeks ago, somebody was like, "Oh, but wrestling's fake." Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Well, the emotions.
Wrestling is scripted.
Is, I'll go with that too.
Tell that person who made that comment, because I saw it on your TikTok, tell them to learn to take a bump.
Oh, exactly.
Even if you take a bump correctly, it hurts.
Every time.
So tell me how fake that is. If the feeling of taking a bump is fake,
Or
they
a
might we might know who's going to win based off of the script because it is a soap opera, right?
yeah,
But take a bump and tell me how that feels. Let me know how fake that feels.
or a Terry Funk punch.
Take one to the
Like,
chin.
because have you ever heard that story about the Terry Funk punch?
No.
Okay. And I'm saying this to like back up my claim that wrestling might be, like we said, it's predetermined, but it
Mm-hmm.
hurts. Um,
Yep.
Mick Foley was talking about, one of his podcasts or whatever, that he was like always wondering what the magic of the Terry Funk punch was. And it was his first time in the ring with Terry. And he told him before the match, he's like, "I just want to know the magic of the punch. Can you show me while we're out there?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So he throws Cactus in the corner and he says, "You ready, kid?" Foley's like, "Yeah." He lays in and punches him just as hard as he can with that left hand. And he said, "Oh, I found the magic. That's why they look real, because they are real." So Terry Funk was a legend for that. That's another dude, man. It doesn't get enough attention. I know we're going back to an old topic. He doesn't get enough
Yeah.
for what he
No.
did for wrestling. Terry and Dory Funk was. If you ever have a way to go back in the time machine on your computer, we have like everything we want to on our computers now. Watch it, please. You will be entertained. Is it a little bit slower than what we're used to now? Yeah, but God, it looked like it hurt. So matches, moments, wrestlers, and I'm going to ask. We're going to close with this one question, Joe.
Hmm.
And I hope our fans appreciate this. Is a little bit off the cuff, but I
Also,
like it.
shout out to Al Snow too, because I wanted to
Yes.
also talk about Al Snow and how he doesn't get the love that he deserves at all. Um,
What does everybody want
he,
with the mannequin?
oh yeah, the man. But
I
yeah,
was
Al
trying to
Snow
censor
sold it,
himself.
man. Right. But yeah, we got a chance to see Al Snow too at WrestleCade, and that was we didn't get a chance to meet him, but we definitely got a chance to see him. And before we move on, there was one match that I wanted to talk about that actually happened the day we saw each other last. This triple threat NXT title
Oh my goodness,
match with Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Oba Femi.
that was a good one.
That match is the best I've seen at NXT.
I want to see Obafemi. Like I'm fantasy booking Obafemi versus Braun Breaker.
Me too.
Just like
Me
no restrictions. Just let them go at it.
street fight.
It is going to look hard. It's going to hurt. It's going to
Yeah.
hurt to watch. Like I'm in my 30s and I'm just like I'll be
I might
cringing with
have
every.
to, if that's at a WrestleMania one year, that's the main event.
Like we need you guys to follow, subscribe, like, pay some money to us and everything so we can go see that match. Okay.
Yeah, because even though I don't like people like that, I would go to WrestleMania for that event.
Me and Joe were talking about WrestleMania being in New Orleans next year. I'm like, I think I might be able to try and make it happen. He's like, no, it's too peoply. It's
Yep,
too
it'll be
peoply
about
for
sixty
me.
thousand, two people for me, about 60,000
But it's
on top of New
Nolans,
Orleans. Yeah, but I mean, New Orleans is already full. So
gumbo.
then think about adding another. My wife is family is from Louisiana. She makes gumbo and
Well,
jambalaya, and we do
how come I ain't
crab
got a
boils
plate
all the
yet?
time. Well, because you live far, sir.
Gumbo. I mean, I could. I've been to New Orleans one time on a recruiting trip,
Hmm.
and it was a guided tour because I was 18, and
Yeah.
they were just like, "We can't let nothing happen to you." But that was some of the best food I've ever like.
Yeah.
If I lived down there, you'd have to roll me down in a cart.
Well, you know what? It's too hot for that. So I feel like you would be eating well and still losing weight because you would
Probably,
just sweat it all
probably
away.
be swampy.
Yep. You always carry your Baptist towel with you everywhere you go, even in the winter.
You know,
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
oh,
We got off onto the side.
Oba Oba versus Braun would be great. I think Trick Williams, I think he's getting slept on a little bit
Hmm.
for various things. Like I think work rate wise, he's kind of in the middle. But we've seen time and time again, work rate rise, you can be right here, but your character can elevate you here. When you have everybody
Yeah.
in an arena chanting "whoop that trick"
Hmm.
and
I think
people
right
just kind
now, Trick. I think right now, Trick would be a great mid carder for the main roster.
I do too, but I'm scared about them doing any call ups right now because we
Oh
just saw
yeah,
Rusev come back. I have a
yeah.
feeling, as we're recording right now, it's right before SmackDown. I have a feeling we have a couple returns coming tonight. Don't quote me on it, but I think Aleister Black might show up, and Jeff Cobb left New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they
Oh
said he may
yeah.
have signed with WWE. And if I were to see Jeff Cobb just do his powerhouse stick in WWE, shtick, I should say shtick. If I see him do his powerhouse stuff in WWE, it would be awesome because he is a beast of a wrestler. Like he's everything that I thought Unbreakable Michael Elgin would be in Ring of Honor, and then Michael Elgin had to go off the deep end and go crazy. So I think those guys are going to do great once they do eventually come up. And Javion Evans, man, first off, super cool dude from Greensboro,
Yeah,
from North Carolina.
I
So
follow
I do too. And
him.
me and my daughter were coming out of the WrestleCade Super Show. You guys left a different way, Joe. And
Yeah,
as we were
but I
going
did
out,
see him. I spoke to him.
oh, and he was hanging out right there by the exit. And I'm just like, hey, man, I hate to bother you. You can tell me no. I made sure to tell him that. You can tell me no if you're trying to get
Yeah,
out of here. But I would just love a picture.
Yeah.
if you could. And he was so happy. He's like, dude, I'd love to. And we got our picture taken. Super sweet kid. I say kid because I'm an old man now. I can do it. But and I feel bad because for the longest time, for some reason, the name Javion didn't click in my head, and I would say Jadavion every time. And I
Just
felt
adding syllables.
just adding syllables just because I know somebody named Jadavion. So I
Yeah.
thought that was so I felt bad for the longest time because that's what I said, and I'm just like, it's Javion. I had to train myself. It's Javion. So I couldn't hear you, Joe. Losing sound.
Can you hear me
I can hear you now.
now? Okay, cool, cool. All right, so
What'd you
go
say?
ahead.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I met Javion like the same night you did. I just didn't by the time I met him, I was already peopled out. So I
Oh
just
yeah,
dapped
it's
him up.
time.
Yeah, I just dapped him up, told him I appreciated him, and then me and Travis left.
You
So
did
I was
pretty
just,
good that weekend, by the way. I just got to tell you
thank you.
because I'm proud. Like, I anybody like public stuff is hard for a lot of people, and I know it. So
Hmm.
anytime you got to go up against something you don't care for, I think is awesome. Like
I hung in
perseverance.
there for I hung in there for you and your daughter.
Hey, but we believed in Joe Henry that night
We did, and we met Joe Hendry,
and
and
spoke to him, and then he was on WrestleMania.
yep, that
So
was my favorite match of the night. I'm not even gonna lie.
so guys, if here's the trick to getting on WrestleMania, meet me and Joe, have a conversation with us. The
Yep,
next year, you're going to be in WrestleMania. If you're a
even if
wrestler,
it's small talk.
yeah. Like literally the conversation was, we believe in you, Joe. And we just kind of chatted for like 2 seconds and was so here's
Yep,
the thing. If you're a pro wrestler and you want to be on WrestleMania, have a conversation with me and Joe, and it's gonna happen.
that's all we need to do is converse. That's it.
That's it.
And what's
So
funny is you remember when we were talking about Randy, who he would face, because of course KO is
yeah.
get better, KO, get better.
Please. If you
We
never
miss
wrestle
you.
again, that's okay. I
Yeah.
want you to be healthy, just like Big E.
Hmm.
But you're my favorite wrestler on this current roster. So it's gonna break my heart just a little bit. You were holding it down for us big guys, us chubby
Yeah.
guys, us
Yep.
dad
Us chubby
bod,
guys, man.
us
Yep.
us dad bod Americans. So
Dad bod Americans. We should put that on the census. Dad bod Americans.
absolutely, I'm gonna get it on a shirt. Like if we ever get merch, it's gonna
Yeah.
have a Wrestle Twins, and on the back it's gonna say Dad bod
Dad bod
Americans.
Americans. Let's go.
So, so
And we will get merch. That's actually on the list of things to do.
it's on the
So be on the
pipeline.
lookout. It's on the pipeline. But yeah, I was telling Travis. Travis asked me, "Who do you think um will be Randy's opponent?" And I just randomly said, "I believe in Joe Hendry."
And then who was it?
And Travis was like, "Shut up." I was like, "I'm serious. I don't know why. I just feel like." And guess who it was?
You believed.
Joe. I believe.
I thought it was gonna be Aleister Black, and I was wrong. So but part of it is because I wanted to hear some of that heavy metal, like as it come down the.
Yeah.
Um, so I had one more question before we wrap it up today,
All right.
and this is going to be controversial, and this is why I'm asking this.
Okay.
Who do you think, hands down, no biases or favorites or anything else, hands down, who do you think is the greatest wrestler of all time? Promos, in-ring work, character, everything. One guy,
Why are you gonna drop this on me right now?
because I love you.
Promos and in ring
And character work.
and character work.
Like I've already got mine in my head. But I've
I
had
have
time
to
to think
go.
about it
Yeah, I haven't had time to think about it.
because you're nice enough to let me plan these things out and you just kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
So I get to catch you off guard with stuff.
He's not my favorite wrestler. He's not even on my top 10. Um, I have an immense amount of respect for him. It would have to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
his character work, the way he carried WWE and WWF. His in-ring work, like of course, a lot of people they say like he didn't have that many uh moves, but think about like how Roman Reigns is right now, right?
John
Like it's
Cena,
on that
Stone
level.
Cold.
Yeah,
Once you
yeah.
get to the main event, you can have just a set move set and just be. If you go see, your favorite artists from the '80s, they're just going to play their
Hmm.
greatest hits.
If you smell
I smell.
what The Rock is cooking,
Smells like cornbread.
nobody cares what you think. He was
Doesn't
on the
matter.
Nation of Domination. Doesn't matter what you think. He was on the Nation of Domination, so he did a completely different character then. I remember his first character, right? And I believe that switch to The Rock unlocked everything for him, made him a superstar that he is today.
I, you know what?
He's the best to ever do it on that level. Um, Character wise, work wise, in ring, he was never born to watch. I never got bored. Um, and like I say, even though he isn't on my Mount Rushmore, I got to give him his flowers.
Yeah, he deserves it. And then
Hmm.
what he's done in Hollywood's been nothing short of incredible.
Absolutely.
And he still looks amazing in his 50s, and I'm a little jealous of that. But I
That'll
don't.
be us one day. I think that we'll get it together.
I just don't have the gumption to get like 3 hours of sleep and then get up
Yeah.
and work out. Like I could eat the amount of calories he does easy, but his I make jokes and everything, but yeah, the Rock's a freak of nature, and I know he's kind of like a lot of people are hating on him right now, but
Hmm.
if you are, I don't think you appreciate how hard this man actually works in everything that he
Right.
does. He puts everything into every project he has, and it's incredible. And he seems like just a great human being the way he does for charities and stuff. So
Hmm.
for me, I think the greatest hands down wrestler to ever do it is Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold
Mm.
medal winner. Like all of his
Yeah.
promos were great. In the ring, nobody could touch him. I don't think in his time.
He's the best in ring, period.
And like his character work, like he could be a babyface, he could be a heel, he could be goofy Kurt Angle, he could be the wrestling machine, and no matter what, it was just like, yeah, you can make jokes and everything, but when that bell rings, your ankle's going to break.
Yep.
And just how quickly he caught on to pro wrestling and everything, I think he's the best to ever do it. And now he's in my top three favorites of all time too. Just
Yeah. Well, he is on my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers as
he's
well.
just amazing. Like he took to it like a duck to water.
Yep.
And there's
Yep.
very few
And I would have
weaknesses.
to agree with you. I felt terrible that I wasn't able to meet him at WrestleCade.
It's
Because
happening
yeah,
because I have to
yeah,
meet Kurt. I have a belt that I have a space just for him. I'm saving for his autograph.
yeah.
It's happening.
We love you, Kurt.
We do.
We love
We
you, man.
appreciate you. And you're a Steelers fan just like me, so you're a good man.
I'm rooting for El Grande Americano next week.
Who is El Grande Americano?
Mark Henry, of course.
Here's my problem with El Grande Americano. Okay.
All right.
You got guys like Chad Gable.
Yeah.
They bust their butt 52 weeks out of the year. And then on the biggest night of the year, you cannot give him a match, but you give it
They
to
get
this
left out.
newcomer.
Yeah.
This newcomer. Like, what's wrong with that? You think
I
it's
don't
Mark
know,
Henry?
man.
I think it's the great
Yeah.
Khali.
Oh man, it could be.
It looks just
We
like
just
Khali.
Yeah, we just saw him.
Yeah.
You know,
Khali was
he's
looking
got
good.
some. Yeah, he was.
I think he could do a moonsault or a 450.
Bro, that was crazy. That
You saw that
450.
450, right?
Yeah,
It was
that was
crisp.
crazy.
That
Oh
was
my
crisp.
god.
Like, I think El Grande Americano is just the greatest luchador to ever live.
Yeah, and he's
El
from the Gulf of
Santos, the Gulf of America.
America. So like
Well, technically the Gulf of
technically
Mexico,
the Gulf, because by the
because
time
when he
when
was
he was
born,
born, it was the Mex. Yeah, yeah.
so
He was born in the water, which makes him the greatest luchador of all time, even at
yeah,
birth. Yeah.
his dad was a bald eagle and his mom was a shark.
Yep.
We we can keep going down this rabbit
And
hole.
he's got the hardest head because of the shark gene in
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's not a metal plate. He's like
No,
literally, it's just one of those like, you know, those crystals the hippies used to, if you got a headache, you just rub it right. That's all it is.
that's all it is. Exactly.
Like
I
people are
don't know
looking
why
to,
people are tripping.
like seriously, his head is so hard from his hard lucha training, and that's why Ray Phoenix broke his foot when he kicked him.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
what happened.
Ray just came in just to break his foot
Yeah,
on the hardest head in the WWE in the
that's
world.
in the world. That's CTE 101.
Yeah. Did you see the Chris Benoit off the top rope headache?
Oh, when he did the diving headbutt,
Yeah.
God, man, he's got to be like made of steel.
This man is made of vibranium. It's a
Yeah,
real thing. Like, and I
adamantium.
believe Atlantis
Yeah,
is definitely, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
in the Gulf of America. So,
I think
you know,
Poseidon maybe gave him some blood to kind of help him
hmm
soup up. Like wrestlers don't juice. Like nobody uses steroids
no,
anymore. Never,
no,
never.
never.
This is why you watch, guys. To see two best friends just act ridiculous. We do it for you, and we did
We
it
love
for the
y'all.
Rock.
We do it
For the Rock.
for the rock. Yep.
For the people. But speaking of Sting, I'm wearing his hat, by the way.
Yeah, it's a beautiful hat. I noticed earlier. Very
I,
nice. It looks like the sting, the scorpion could just pop off of that thing and sting you for real.
I've been wearing this hat every day since I bought it, just about in at Sting's last match. Like every time you
Wow.
see me, I'm wearing this hat.
Yeah.
Every now and then
Well,
I'll
you remember
switch
the
it up.
face mask? I'm gonna bring the face mask to the next one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to paint my face so bad for that night, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, anyway, I
It's all right. The goal when we go to SmackDown is that I will be a slightly more chunky Jacob Fatu when I go.
oh, what? I was going to dress up like Tiffany Stratton. I
Do
think I
it.
could pull it off.
Yeah.
Tiffy time.
Tiffy time.
I had the belly hanging out and everything. I know the belt's coming.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And usually they do meet and greets in the town. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
kind of keep an eye out and see if anybody's popping up that morning
Yeah, man.
for a meet and greet, and
Let
I'll
me
let
know.
you know. And
All right.
also, my mother-in-law gets married that next day, so
Congratulations.
that's exciting. I'm sharing this with the
Yeah.
world apparently, but it's going to be a great weekend. So, guys, thank you for watching.
Yeah. We
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
listening to our
y'all.
craziness. Like we just listen, my goal in life, and I think Joe's is too, like we just want to talk about wrestling, talk about nerd
Hmm.
stuff that we love and be happy.
That's
Like
it.
that's my dream job, honestly. I've worked hard my whole life. I don't expect to have to stop working hard. I work hard on this. Joe and I both have so many endeavors we do between church, online presence,
Yep.
families
Our
and
actual
everything else.
jobs and
Yes.
yep.
We're working when we're not working.
Yep.
So we
We work while
appreciate
we sleep.
absolutely. So we appreciate anybody that takes the time to check us out. We love you and appreciate you, and we'll catch you in the next one. Wrestling Twins out.
Peace.